I was driving home from a weekend hiking trip. The sun had just dipped behind the hills, and I was the only car on the road that cut through Blackridge Forest. My GPS suddenly froze, and before I could fix it, the road ahead vanished in a thick fog. That's when I saw the woman. She stood in the middle of the road, barefoot, in a white dress stained with something dark. I swerved and crashed into a ditch. Everything went black. When I woke up, I wasn't in my car. I was in a candlelit room, surrounded by people in red robes and wooden masks. One of them whispered, "You've been chosen." The cult called themselves the Circle of Red Ash. They lived in an isolated compound deep in the woods, hidden from satellite and radio signals. The leader, who everyone called Father Alaric, claimed the outside world was diseased with chaos. He preached cleansing through devotion and said I'd been blessed by fate to join them. I was locked in a small wooden hut at night. During the day, they made me work, chopping wood, carrying stones, preparing altars. Every night, they held rituals, chanting, fire dancing, animal sacrifices. On the third night, they painted a symbol on my chest and forced me to stand in a circle of ash while they sang in a language I'd never heard. That's when I realized they weren't just a cult. They were preparing something. I pretended to cooperate, smiled when they watched, nodded when Father Alaric spoke. That's how I found the library. It was beneath the chapel, hidden behind a rotating wall. Inside, old books bound in leather and bone. Diagrams of human anatomy overlaid with celestial charts. One book was open on a pedestal, the Book of Fire and Bone. It spoke of a ritual called the Awakening, requiring a vessel born of doubt and defiance. I flipped to the last page. It showed a person bound, their soul being cleansed by fire. The figure looked like me. The next night, they held a purification ceremony. I was the centerpiece. They dressed me in linen robes and led me to the ceremonial circle. The sky was red. The air smelled like sulfur and burnt herbs. Father Alaric raised a blade made from obsidian and ashwood. He cut into my palm and let the blood drip into a bowl. Then he chanted, "Let the vessel bleed. Let the fire claim. Let the old God see." I passed out from the pain. When I woke up, the symbol on my chest was burned into my skin. I knew I had to escape. One of the members, a girl named Lita, slipped me a note under my door. They did this to my sister too. Meet me at the well after dark. That night, I followed her instructions. She told me her sister had been sacrificed during a ritual 5 years ago, burned alive, believing it would bring them closer to the divine. But it never did. Only nightmares followed. Lita had been planning to escape, but Father Alaric knew. He kept her close, watched her dreams,